Itadakimasu. Hey Yotsob, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, y'all. This is gonna be an all-new series I'm introducing on my channel called Itadakimasu. And first thing you're probably wondering is, what the hell does that mean? So in Japanese, the term Itadakimasu is used before you eat, and it basically means thank you for this food, similarly to a prayer. But yeah, anyways, I asked a bunch of you guys on Facebook and Instagram what you were trying to see next in the vlogs, and like 90% of people said food. So yeah, I thought this was a really cool segment to introduce. And in today's episode, I'm going to be focusing on Japanese noodles, specifically 3 kinds. So I don't want to ruin anything. I'm going to go ahead and get the video started. Okay guys, first up, udon. Udon is kind of the basic dish of the 3 noodles that I'm going to be discussing today, and what sets it apart from the other noodles is the thickness. So if you look at the noodles, they're really thick, and also they are usually cooked al dente, so they're usually pretty firm. And one thing about udon is we can eat it hot, or we can eat it cold. Look at this plate, you have a set of zaru udon, which means cold udon. And yeah, the sauce is going to be generally something called kakejiru, which is a mixture of soy sauce, dashi, and mirin. But yeah, before we eat, itadakimasu. On the list is going to be soba. Soba is the healthiest of the 3 noodles that I'll be discussing today. Soba is going to be made with buckwheat flour, which sets it apart from ramen and udon, which are made with just regular wheat flour. And another really unique thing about soba is the texture. So it's going to be a really thin but dense noodle, and it kind of has like a rubbery texture. I compare it to like if you took Play-Doh and just rolled up like a little snake and just took a bite of that. It's similar to the texture of soba. I just ordered my set, and what I got was zaru soba, which is going to mean cold soba. So if you look at the plate here, we have, of course, the soba, which is generally served on like a little bamboo platter. And with the soba, you have the tsuyu, and what tsuyu is soy sauce-based dipping sauce. And it comes with green onion and then a little ball of wasabi. And I'll show you what to do with that in just a minute. And then next up we have the tempura right here. If you don't know tempura, it basically translates to fried food. So it's generally vegetables or shrimp, which are lightly battered and fried. So it's really not too unhealthy. And then with the tempura, we have the tempura sauce here. And lastly, we have this stanky old stuff right here. This is, I believe it's radish, and it smells like a giant fart. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that one. But yeah, so anyways, coming back to the sauce here, what you do is you're gonna take some of the green onion and then you put it in the sauce, and then you'll get however much wasabi you like. Pretty big on the wasabi, so I'm gonna take a pretty big chunk, and then you'll mix it together. So if you wanna look here, I don't know if you can focus on that. It's gonna look like that. And then what you do is come over to the soba and you get just a few noodles at a time. Let's see if I can get a decent amount. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then you'll soak it in the soba. You'll soak it in the sauce. And then, yeah, after that, you're good to go. So, before we eat, itadakimasu. Pretty sure they just found this like behind the restaurant. Next up we have ramen noodles, perhaps the most famous kind of noodles and my favorite. And today we're going to be checking out Kamakura soup noodles. So it's actually believed that ramen is from Chinese, and a long time ago Japanese people kind of reinvented it, and what they did to differentiate their ramen from Chinese is basically make the broth like 1,000 times better, in my opinion. So what I'm going to be discussing today are kind of the 4 main kinds of broth that you can find in ramen in Japan. So the first style is shio, and in English shio means salt, so this is going to be a salt-based broth. The second one is shoyu, and in English that means soy sauce, so that's going to be a soy sauce-based broth. Third, we have miso. If you don't know miso, miso is fermented soybeans, so it's definitely an acquired taste. And then lastly, it's probably my favorite one. It's going to be tonkotsu, and what tonkotsu means is pork bone. But today we're going to be looking at the shoyu style. So this is going to be soy sauce-based broth. And as you can see, we have a soft boiled egg. So this, on the inside, it's going to be not all the way cooked. And then here we have some balm-looking pork. We have some cabbage and some other vegetables in here. And then of course we have the ramen noodles. And I think I forgot to mention this, but ramen noodles are usually made from wheat. So that's definitely a very different thing from the soba and the udon that we covered earlier. So yeah, I guess I'm ready to eat. So, Itadakimasu! So one thing that I noticed, and one thing that you should know too, or at least be aware of when you come to Japan, is that if you ever go to a ramen shop or any noodle shop, you'll notice that everyone slurps the shit out of these noodles. And I basically talked to a few of my friends. They told me that here, it's kind of specific for noodles. I'm not really sure why, but slurping is a sign of respect. It shows that the noodles are delicious, and it's kind of a respect for the chef for cooking a delicious meal.